just massive bass sounds with this joint. Crazy, crazy. Add a little tremolo to that effect at the end of it, you know. And I actually got this little basically bit crusher Moog synth into tremolo. I actually got that from Yannick Guasdala. He's one of my favorites on YouTube as well. But I was watching this stuff before YouTube. But he's one of my favorite effects guys on YouTube. Him and Bill Rupert from Electro Harmonics. He's another guy that's crazy with the effects. Some guys I just like to hear what they're doing, and they always give me good inspiration. But yeah, you can use this kind of like Yannick's setup. If you got a MS60B, you can kind of cheat Yannick's setup a little with a tremolo. So the tremolo effect. So you'll have the bit crusher running into the M filter into the tremolo. And I'll give you out my settings real quick in the MS60B. This is on MS60B or MS50G or Zoom B3. These effects are available. So it's set to the bit is set to 8, so it's an 8-bit crusher, and the SMPL is set to 33. The balance is set to 21. The tone is set to 8, and the level is on 100, and that's for the bit crusher. The M style filter, the frequency is 56. The sense is 5. The resonance is 7. The type is low pass filter LPF. Character is 2 pole, and velocity is set to fast. Balance is 70, and the level is 100. And on the tremolo, the depth is set to 80. The rate is set to 40. Level is set to 100, and the wave is a triangle 1. So here we go. Swap out that filter for the MXR bass envelope filter. So basically, I have the Poly Blue running into the bit crusher, running into the tremolo, and then that's going to run into the bass envelope filter, the MXR bass envelope filter, analog bit filter, and then that's going to run into the Rojo Molar, which is a vibrato with a pre delay on it. So here we go. And then that's running into the ampeg SGT, right? Then you're running that into the TC Electronic Spectracom. So basically, I got Octave, um, Octave bit crusher modulation, and then filter, then another modulation, which is the Rojo Molar, the vibrato, and then into an preamp and ampeg SGT DI into a multi-band compressor, TC Electronic Spectracom, running into an Aguilar 410 IR, and then running into a pre 1073, which is a Neve mic preamp emulation on the B6. So yeah, sometimes it be a long signal path like that, but trust me, once you have these pieces, you don't really even have to do too much. Like you could really get the Poly Blue and the MS60B, and then run a preamp off of there, or run a compressor off of there. You don't have to have a preamp after this stuff, but you know you can run a compressor on there too. They got the 160 compressor on there. So if you got a Poly Blue and an MS60B, you pretty much got a killing synth rig right there. Plus the synth sounds. There's synth sounds you can run the Poly Blue into the MS60B as well, or Zoom stuff in general. The Zoom bass stuff has these bass synths on them you can run that into. So here we go. And it almost gives you like a ring modulator effect type thing. And actually, you can add a ring mod to this. You know, let me where the ring mod at. It's got a ring modulator in here as well. But yeah, I prefer the Big Crusher. It's a lot more versatile than the ring modulator. I use the Big Crusher in place of distortion, so you could have a distortion right there instead of a Big Crusher if you wanted to. I just prefer to have, you can have just overdrive, distortion, or a fuzz right there instead. It's going similar effect. You just want it to be before the filter, so the the filter can grab all that distortion stuff when it's sweeping, and really give you that gritty sweeping sound. Without the bit crusher. You got plenty of options with this joint. That's why I like this Poly Blue, because you got a ton of different options you can use with it, and it just sounds good. Um, if you happen to have something like a freeze pedal, here's another little trick you can do. So I got a freeze pedal running into the Poly Blue, so it'll be able to sustain notes and do different things like that. hold it. You can manipulate the sound, turn effects on and off. You can bring in different voices. So being able to add these different aspects of things to it definitely makes it way more flexible of a unit. Just having something like that was a deep freeze. I was running into that the Pico deep freeze, which allowed me to do those infinite sustains, and I have it in auto mode and all that. I do a review on that next, but yeah, it definitely stands. It's its own thing. I wouldn't, I know I'm gonna get the question. Does it replace the OC2 and all? Listen, it's its own sound. Like all these different units are their own sound. So, um, I just say, man, collect them all like Pokemon. I mean, as many of them as you could get. That ain't gonna kill your pockets. You know what I'm saying? If you had to pick one, you know, you gotta just pick which one you like. That blue sound more of that octave. Let me see. We take this stuff off so you can hear it by itself one more time. OC2 setting on the OC5 compared to the Poly Blue. And I'm gonna compare the polyphonic modes real quick, just the octave down. So this is the Poly Blue in polyphonic mode on one octave down compared to the OC5 in polyphonic mode one octave down. So definitely, these two are kind of like, so the with the poly blue and polyphonic mode, your EQ, you're gonna need to boost the bass. Like you run it pretty much like your regular bass sound with a little more mids. But in monophonic mode, in order for the track well and sound good, in my opinion, you're gonna want to cut those lows, boost the mids, and cut the highs. On a OC5, just as a tip, it's kind of the opposite. On the monophonic mode, you want to boost out the lows, and on the polyphonic mode, you want to cut the lows. So, there's just a little difference between the two. But yeah, that's a little comparison between the two, so you got a general understanding. I would compare the Poly Blues polyphonic octave down to like the TC electronic sub harmonic subbing up. That's what it sounds like to me, similar to that. While the OC5 in polyphonic mode has more of just a synth bass. I actually love the way that sounds. Like I actually use that a lot as a synth sound in the OC5 in polyphonic mode, one octave down. So, but yeah, this has been another All Bass Creations Effects tutorial, demo, and review of the Poly Blue Octave by MXR. It's definitely worth checking out. It definitely getting my stamp of approval. It's made it onto my pedal board. I hope to hear it on some of y'all's because it's amazing. I would love to see what some of you guys can do with it. Just adding some different sounds, trying out different things, um, different modulations, different distortions. Distortion ain't really gonna make too much of this. Just get an overdrive or distortion. It ain't gonna make that big of a difference. If you want to make a huge difference in the sound, definitely go for bit crusher versus distortion. They both have those two versus each other at a completely different textures. Um, and the filter is going to make a huge difference in the sound as well. So the distortion or bit crusher versus the filter, and which type of filter, M filter or analog bass filter, whatever you go with. Then you can add like some tremolo, chorus, flanger, all that good stuff, phaser, Leslie effect, and don't forget to then take that sound, shape it with a preamp or something, and compress it. And if you're feeling froggy, you can throw on an IR, and then bam, you in business. Like you really in business. Then you got a complete signal chain that'll hold up for you. So some people might say put the compressor before the octave, but I personally, with my bass has enough power where it kicks through the way I want it to. So, but I appreciate you guys hanging with me, man. For another All Bass Creations Effects tutorials, demos, and review. I am the Bass Negus, Negus. You can find me there on all social media. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Go to allbasscreations.bandcamp and find all my music, download it. You can also find it on any of the streaming services out there. It's on all that stuff, Spotify, all that good stuff. So, also go to famemusic.org, FAMEMUSIC.org, and donate. That is a after school program for music for kids, and I'm actually one of the teachers with them. But we help students with everything from mentoring to tutoring to private music lessons, band. They travel. We take them to different colleges like Berkeley College of Music, my alma mater. We got kids going to Juilliard and all these other schools, on great scholarships. So we help them get scholarships and help them, just overall make sure that the entire student is taken care of, not just the music. Sometimes we get caught up on just the music, but life is more than just music. And you need to experience life in order to properly do music, and you need to experience the good times and happy times in life, and we help out with that, whether it be with the tutoring so they're not stressed out there, or, just simple mentorship. Some kids just need a big brother type figure. They got the music, they got the grades, but they ain't really got, all the extra stuff, that somebody like a father figure or a big brother would provide. So, we try to help out with all of that stuff. So make sure you go to famemusic.org and donate. And if you got any kids in the Maryland, DMV area, we auditioning kids for the program. They all need to audition to get in, and we'll go from there. So definitely check us out when you get a chance. And I'm out. Peace.